WACH, Watch TV. The following program is a Watch TV exclusive. We were planning to air this show November 8th, 2016. But we couldn't afford to pay the lab bills until February 5th, 2017. Election Results 2016 with your host, Zintar. Good evening. I am Zintar, and this is Election Night 2016, the night our United States elects a new president. Well, it's been an exciting roller coaster of a day. We started with Watch TV's exclusive filming of candidate Houdini casting his vote. As we look at the votes so far, we see that Houdini has taken the lead early on, and the momentum keeps growing. And for those of you viewers not yet familiar with this very independent and unusual candidate, we will replay his widely popular early campaign spots. As we enter the final hours of this iconic election, let's look at the results pouring in from the remaining states. In the battleground states, voting was fierce between Trump and Clinton groups, but Houdini's supporters put up a massive show of strength, not seen since the fight to save Gilligan's Island from cancellation. They carried him to a sweeping victory in these crucial states. And now Professor Grady Sutton will report on the all-important coffee ground states. Thank you, Zintar. Now, here we have a pile of coffee grounds. Each of these grounds represents 2,000 votes in the coffee ground states. Now, if we scientifically separate the Trump grounds from the Clinton and Houdini grounds, then divide by the square root of the total population of these states, we get the precise count of the votes per candidate. Who am I kidding? We'll just separate this pile from this and stack this pile here, and voila! We have Clinton with just under 39 votes, Trump with just a fraction of a vote, and Houdini with an astounding 1,629,517.3 votes. Meanwhile, in the playground states, things are rather bleak with a record low turnout. And finally, in the swing states, most of the people apparently were too busy dancing and having a good time to bother going out and voting. With me now, to help us make sense of all this, is election and political analyst Mr. A. Lynch Pyle. Mr. Pyle, good evening, and thank you for appearing with us. Oh, good evening, and you're very welcome. Pleasure to be here, don't you know. Mr. Pyle, can you please give us your take on the voting so far? Well, you see, Mr. Zintar, this is pretty much as I had predicted, except that Houdini has received most of the votes so far. Can you please explain the process by which you predict the election? Well, you see, we gather all pertinent data on the candidates, such as their past experience, qualifications, the name of their favorite Robert Redford movie, shoe size, and, of course, favorite pizza toppings, and we import the data into our KX35000 Supertron computer. I see. And what results do you usually get? Well, the result is invariably a broken computer. That can be rather expensive. Well, yes, but we do put in for grants, so every 4 years we receive a shiny new state-of-the-art computer. Well, that seems like a good deal. Well, we think so. Getting back to Houdini, how do you feel about a candidate with almost no experience, no money, and very little campaign time, and starting very late in the game, becoming so much more popular with the people than two established candidates who have spent billions of dollars and months of campaigning? Well, it seems Houdini has struck a positive note with the public. He's a very down-to-earth candidate, being only 12 inches tall, and speaks very little, so there's no worry about saying anything that would offend anyone. Plus, his Houdinisms campaign video a few months back went over very well, and his willingness to be petted by the voters has given him numerous approval points. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but we've just been informed that all the votes have been tallied, and we have a final count. Stan, can you please post the final results? Well, it looks like Trump is bringing up the rear with a negative 14, while Clinton has squeaked by with just under 28 votes, and Houdini has won in a landslide victory with over 8 billion votes. Well, there you have it. History has been made as the United States has its first feline president, having won the election with more votes than there are people in the world. Oh, in just a minute, we now have a live hookup with Houdini headquarters. You viewers will be the first to see President-elect Houdini post-election. Take us over, Stan. President-elect Houdini, congratulations on having won the election. How does it feel to have swept the country? President-elect Houdini? Can you please give us some insight on how you will appoint cabinet members? Well, he seems to have his priorities settled. Yes, food first, then work. Can't run the country on an empty stomach. Oh, and I see Sidekick is with him. He'll make a very reliable and strong vice president. Oh, I hear he's built like a tank, but very friendly. Oh, and there's Rusty, the future Secretary of State. I hear Rusty's a technical wizard who runs most of the communications for Houdini. Ah, yes. That would explain the cables. Well, I'm sure it's been a busy day and night for Houdini and his people. So let's give him some time to rest. This is Zintar signing off. Thank you for joining us here at Watch TV, and have a good night, knowing the country is in such good paws. This has been a Watch TV exclusive presentation.